Good afternoon to everyone. Now I welcome you for IIBS IAS Academy Current Affairs Channel IIBS News Bureau. Today we are going to discuss about the Hindu news article on three different issues. The first one is with respect to Karimpuzha Wildlife Sanctuary, which is going to be 18th wildlife sanctuary in India. And second one is regarding that vaccine which is invented by BBIL called Covaxin and its improvement. And third one is with respect to editorial, which is talking about lesson that we have going to learn from International Arbitration Center. Here I'll directly pass on to first topic, that is Karimpuzha Sanctuary comes into Kerala as a 18th wildlife sanctuary. Before getting into this particular wildlife sanctuary, first we need to know about what is wildlife sanctuary. Wildlife sanctuary is an area where animal habitat and their surrounding are protected from any sort of disturbance. And here, killing, poaching, capturing of any animal for any purpose is strictly prohibited. This is the meaning and definition of wildlife sanctuary. If you are talking about wildlife sanctuary, why we need to create wildlife sanctuary? What is the aim for it? To provide comfortable living of the species which are there in that particular habitat and to preserve that species and to ensure the biodiversity of the particular region, we are making some areas as wildlife sanctuary. In India, we had 551 wildlife sanctuary. Out of those 551, 17 wildlife sanctuaries are located in Kerala alone. And here we also need to know about what is the importance of wildlife sanctuary. Wildlife sanctuary are created to protect certain endangered species and to protect that species from predators, including human beings. And the second most importance of creating wildlife sanctuary is to preserve and protect the natural habitat so that the genetics of the particular species will be preserved. That will become as an advantage of the particular species on evolution. And third important thing is with respect to promotion of ecotourism. This is what with related to wildlife sanctuary that we need to learn in terms of UPSC. Now we can go to this particular Karimpuzha Wildlife Sanctuary. Before going into Karimpuzha Wildlife Sanctuary, we also need to know about what are all the wildlife sanctuary which are there in Kerala. In Kerala, there are 18, as I said, 17 wildlife sanctuaries are there. First wildlife sanctuary, that is Neyyar Wildlife Sanctuary, which was started in 1859, and Pechivalani Wildlife Sanctuary, which started in 1958, and Wayanad in 73, Idiki, Peppara, Talakkad, Chinnar, Chinmuni, Aralam, then this Kurinjimala, Chulanur, Malabar, Kottiyur. These are all the 17 wildlife sanctuary which was already created. And the 18th wildlife sanctuary is Karimpuzha Wildlife Sanctuary, which was passed that act in Kerala government in 2019. Now it is going to be a wildlife sanctuary from yesterday, because yesterday that particular article has been published in their newspaper. Here we need to, what are the things that we need to know about this Karimpuzha Wildlife Sanctuary? This Karimpuzha Wildlife Sanctuary is going to come in a particular place called Nedumgayam near Nilambur, which is going to be a 18th wildlife sanctuary. Here the reason to make this particular place wildlife sanctuary is to lift the living condition of local people, including tribal people, and the advantage of this particular thing is going to be a employment creation. And in Kerala, it has been a good model in terms of preserving ecotourism and forests. For past 4 years, they have increased the total forest cover in a robustic way. This particular wildlife sanctuary is coming with an area of 227.97 square kilometers, and with respect to the species which are located in this particular wildlife sanctuaries, 226 birds are there, 213 butterflies are there, and certain endangered fishes are also there, 23 amphibians are there, 33 reptiles are there. These are all the things that we need to keep in mind with respect to Karimpuzha Wildlife Sanctuary. They may ask about number of wildlife sanctuary in Kerala, or they may ask about which is the 18th wildlife sanctuary in Kerala. This is the question with respect to preliminary point of view. And they may ask about difference between wildlife sanctuary and national park also. In Kerala, there are 5 national parks too. That is not required in this perspective. So we are moving on to the next topic. Now the next topic is with respect to editorial. Here the editorial talk, today's editorial talks about lesson for India. What is the lesson that we need to learn? Why we are focusing on this editorial? This thing, same thing we have already discussed in yesterday news analysis also. This particular article is talking about a loss of jurisdiction to Indian government with respect to the Italian Marines who shot two Carolite fishermen when they were fishing in contingenious zone. That contingenious zone, yesterday we were not talking about that thing. Under UNCLOS, that is United Nations Convention of Law under Sea, Law of Oceans, this particular any particular water body, especially ocean, from the coast 12 nautical miles are considered to be a territorial sea limit. The territorial sea limit belongs to the particular nation. From there, next 12 kilometers is called as contingenious zone of country, which can be used for economic activity, for trading purpose or navigation purpose. This particular shootout was happened in contingenious zone of the country, which means that particular area is coming under a concurrent jurisdictions of India as well as Italy. Here, how the framework of this particular editorial is there. The editorial is talking about the incident that I have already explained in yesterday class. Today also I explained about in brief, and who is going to have rule, that is who is going to administer the particular case. Initially India administered the case because it was started, this particular incident what happened on February 2012, and as I said, this is having concurrent jurisdiction, which means both Italy as well as Indian government is having jurisdiction over this particular thing. Now why we are talking about here. Yesterday in newspaper we have said, we have clearly discussed about it. India loses jurisdiction because due to the delayed prosecution and delayed trial. Apart from that, now they are going to provide compensation to the victims who are lost their life in this particular incident. Also, Italian Marines, they are saying that they showed that fishermen as a pirates. Fishermen cannot be a pirates. They are not doing any illegal activity. They are just fishing in that particular water body. Apart from that, here in this particular thing, you may also had a particular word called public outrage. What is public outrage? Now the entire Indian community, especially the Keralite people, Malayalis, are demanding for justice in this particular case. Justice can be provided only when Italian government is doing clear prosecution and trial with respect to this particular case. If they are not doing it, then this particular crime or killing can be clearly called as wanton killing, which means brutal murder which has been done for the fishermen because they have not done any crimes. As per rule, even if they are doing any illegal fishing, they can be brought under Italian rule or Indian rule. That may give the penalty of maximum of 3 months of imprisonment, but they have lost their life in this particular case. Apart from that, India also accepted the reward which is provided by PCA. That means in International Court of Justice, which is located in Hajj, we are the Hajj city in Netherlands. It's also called as Holland. In that particular place, the case has been directly moved to International Court. Why it is moved to International Court? Because the Indian Marines, they have moved out of India long back, stating that they cannot stay in India, stating some legal issues because those two marine, international marine officer or Italian marine officer, they were all working for Italian government. Government officials of one country cannot be arrested by another country. This is an international protocol. First one. Second one, this incident is happened in contiguous zone, which is a concurrent jurisdictions of India and Italy. So the case need to be undergone its trial and prosecution only in international arbitration court. The decision which is taken by international arbitration court is accepted by India. That is the drawback for India. If we are not accepting that order which is given by PC, that is Permanent Court of Arbitration, we may find some solution in India itself, but we have accepted it. And apart from that, this particular essay is concluding by giving a statement that marine's immunity precluded in India's jurisdiction, which means we cannot, Indian jurisdiction or Indian court cannot have its order or rule or control to prosecute this particular trial in Indian authority, under Indian authority. And one more thing that we need to understand in this particular situation is, as per Article 100 of UNCLOS under 1982 Act, Italian Marines has violated its obligation to cooperate with measures to suppress the piracy under Act. Here they are saying that this is a piracy related act. Here it is not related to piracy, because those two persons who lose their life are just fishermen. Fishermen cannot be equated to related to piracy related activity. And apart from that, here one more thing is also there with respect to this particular article, which was there in page number 8. Indians have accepted this particular ruling. That is the major problem with respect to this particular case. Why India has accepted it? Because we have delayed the prosecution. Indian government has not started prosecution. The case which was, this particular incident was happened in February 2012. For past 8 years, we are not doing any prosecution in a fast track manner. So we lose the jurisdiction. That is the reason for losing the jurisdiction. Apart from that, those two Italian marines, stating them as a state official, that is Italian government official, they managed to obtain order to leave the country. When the culprit or a person who is being penalized or who is having some issues with respect to crime, if he or she is moving out of the country, we can't able to do normal or required prosecution to find the solution for the particular crime or to get the compensation or justice in a shorter span of period. Now, what is the effect in this? Major effect in this thing is diplomatic foray. That means death penalty of these two victims cannot be provided. For example, if anyone is taking the life of another by murdering or shooting or by killing, the maximum penalty that Indian jurisdiction can provide is death penalty. But here we cannot do it, because if we are providing the death penalty to Italian marines, that may affect the relation between India and Italy. And Italian government threatened Indian government, stating that European Union may impose trade sanction on this particular, stating this particular issue on India, which was not accepted or agreed by India. So we accepted the ruling which has happened in PCA, that is Permanent Court of Arbitration, and finally it is accepted by India. Here, what it needs to be concluded. Italy succeeded this particular issue by taking out this particular matter out of India. Now it is not under control of India. What is now what is expected from the victim point of view, or for the person who loses their life? Only they can get compensation for losing the particular life. Other than that, nothing can be provided. Here, one more thing is also need to be taken care. Under this particular preview, Article 51C and D of Indian Constitution is also need to be considered. That was there in this particular article. Now we can move on to next topic. That is with respect to Covaxin. which is the medicine developed by an private body which is located in Hyderabad, that is Bharat Biotech India Limited, has invented a potential vaccination. First, we need to know about vaccination. What is vaccination? Vaccination is not the medicine to treat the disease. Vaccination is the injection which is provided to prevent the disease, which means if the particular vaccine is being injected to a person, he or she will get immunity to fight against the particular virus. That kind of vaccine we have developed under this BBIL, that is Bharat Biotech India Limited, which is located in Hyderabad, and they have already obtained approval from Drug Controller General of India on June 29th to undergo phase 1 and phase 2 trial. This phase 1 and phase 2 trial is going to happen in topmost cities in the country, including Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Pune. Here, before getting into this picture, whenever this trial is going to be happen, first initially it will be trialed or check the vaccine's immunity and efficacy and its working condition and its and how it is going to produce a protective antibody to to fight against the particular disease. These things can be studied only by getting few volunteers. But now this particular BBIL, they have given this particular order to few hospitals to take this particular trial with respect to phase 1 and phase 2 under medical observation. If it is going to be happen, we need to recruit some volunteers. To recruit volunteer, we need to get ethical letter from Drug Control Authority of India. We have not received the Drug Control Authority letter from India till now. That is the first point here we need to keep in mind. But what government is saying that if they are providing that letter, clearance letter to recruit persons, as per this report, they are saying that they need 100 to 150 recruiters per center to check this efficacy and immunogenicity and efficacy of this particular vaccine. If they need to do it, they need to get this letter as soon as possible. If they get the letter within 2 or 3 days, they'll start the trial, and before August 15, we can expect that as per ICMR's report, we can expect that vaccine will be coming to market by August 15 itself. But here, the primary aim of this phase 1 and phase 2 is to check the side effect or adverse reaction on this particular vaccine. That is important thing, because hydrochloroquine is one of the suggested medicine for this COVID-19 virus, but it is having lot many side effects. If the particular HCQ, hydrochloroquine, is being consumed by the persons who are prone to heart-related disease or pulmonary-related disease, they may lose their life due to some side effect. To study the side effect, they will be undergoing the trial in phase 1. In phase 2, they will be checking with the quantity of protective antibody which are going to produced by the immune system when this particular vaccine is being taken by that volunteer or a patient. That will be under phase 2. Under phase 3, they will be checking about the marketability. If it has been in the market, whether it will be applicable to all type of human being, or it needs to be given only for a certain group of people that may be related to age group, or that may be related to medical related issue. And here they need to do some follow-up also even after doing this clinical trial under ICMR guidelines. After 7 days, they need to undergo a regular checkup, and after 27 days, they need to make one trial, and after 104th day, 196th day, they need to keep on checking this immune system of a particular person for whom we are going to check this Covaxin medicine. Hopefully, we will be getting some vaccine or some medicine to prevent the transmission of the particular disease. We can't able to find solution or medicine to cure COVID. It is not possible in shorter span of time. We are planning to find, and we are doing the process to find vaccination to block the transmission of the particular disease called COVID. Now, that is the end of this news analysis for today's content. Thank you.